Hey. Happy Friday, guys. You should see my contraption right now. Like, I have my computer, I have my tripod, and then there's you on my phone. And my phone is plugged into my computer because it's about to die. So hopefully it's charging. I guess we'll find out. But anyways, okay, so I want to tell you a story. Hey, Hillary. I'm going to tell you a story, and this is a pretty powerful one, so I hope you're ready. Hey, Monique. If you're watching live, say hey, and if you're watching the recording, make sure you let us know you're watching the recording. And I'm going to talk to you about a story that happened yesterday, and I already talked to my coach, and I said, hey, just to let you know, I'm going to go live about this. I'm actually going to go live about this tomorrow on my public page too, but I wanted to go live in here specifically talking to you guys about this because it is very much about the business. So one of my coaches, I'm not going to say who it is, but she has been really just kind of always struggling in her business a little bit. Like, she's super consistent sometimes, and then most of the time she's not. She hadn't been. And I was like hitting my head against the wall, like trying to figure out like what is going on, because obviously it's up here. Like, everyone knows what to do, right? But it's this that gets in the way of us doing things and going all in. And so she had told me that she is basically lazy, like she thought it was fear and all this. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe this just isn't for you then, because, it's not for everybody, and especially lazy, complacent people, right? But I thought, no. Like, 24 hours went by, and I was like, no, I don't buy that, because this girl needs this business more than ever. Like, this girl is in credit card debt and, has a child and is just very much in debt. She needs this opportunity. Hey, Melanie. I'm telling a story. It's story time. I know you guys love stories. And I'm all about analogies. You guys know I love analogies. And so I texted her and I was like, girl, if your son was inside of a burning house, would you do whatever it took to get him out of there, or would you sit in your car and call a locksmith? Because that's what she's essentially doing. She is sitting in her car, like, calling a locksmith. Like, think of the burning house, as her business, as her financial need. And there's no urgency. There's no urgency behind her life with this business. And I was like, that speaks volumes. So I texted her that. And we had this back and forth conversation last night through text. Hey, Jetta. And she had basically kind of laid it out for me, but not until I asked the question, girlfriend, what am I missing? What is the disconnect here? Because I feel like I have more urgency than you do, and you're the one who needs this way more than I even do. Like, I set my house on fire still, even to this day, even though I'm making 6 figures in Beachbody, because I know that is what gets me to the next level, is setting my house on fire, setting my heart on fire, and the fire under my ass. And I'm like, what is the disconnect? What am I missing? And, I kind of had her bring me through, like, her life, like, paint the picture of what your childhood was like, basically. And turns out, she's basically skated through life, not really having to put in a lot of work and being able to do okay. Her parents gave her everything. In fact, they still do. She's still tied to her parents' phone plan even. So her parents, she's been entitled basically her whole life, and even still is. So there's that safety net. There's that plan B that's always there. Just like credit cards, those credit cards have always been her plan B, her safety net. And so she keeps using them, right? Same thing with her parents. Like, there's no urgency to do this business because she knows that she can just fall back on her parents, and she does, right? Which is the death of her and anyone, right? Now, I want to tell you a story about me that you guys probably don't know, and I need to share this more, and I will be sharing this with my following. There needs to be urgency, and there needs to be no plan B, and here's why, okay? I was a competitive athlete my entire life. Well, not entire life, but from age 9 to 18, almost like 10 years of my life, I was a competitive gymnast. So that sport, this is why I love working with competitive athletes in this business, because when you're an athlete, you acquire the mental strength needed to get through anything. You have resiliency, you have mental strength, physical strength, you understand teamwork, you have work ethic, you have discipline, self-discipline, focus. Like you have these things that non-athletes don't have, you know what I mean? So I love working with competitive athletes. So I was a competitive athlete my whole entire life. So that has served me well in this business. Just because you weren't an athlete doesn't mean you can't have success. It just means you're going to have to acquire those same skills I've maybe had my whole life, because I acquired them early on. But here's what I'm trying to get at here. Freshman year of college, I was on academic probation. I never went to class, obviously, and I drank all the time. And I didn't go to class because I was like hungover. And I was also going through a breakup with my high school boyfriend. And we lived in the same dorm, 3 levels apart. Anyways, that's a total side note, but that was horrible. That was horrible. And my dad was paying for my college. So fast forward 2 years. So that was in 2006 that I wasn't going to class. 2008, I believe it was when the recession happened, right? Am I right? My dad's a realtor. So market crashed, right? Remember that time? I don't know if any of you guys remember that, but we lost a lot. My family lost a lot. It was a very scary time for my family, for my parents, and for me, because I was relying on my dad to pay for my college. Even though, you guys, I was waitressing, I had always had a job in high school as a hostess and a waitress, I still relied on my parents. And when that happened, when that recession happened, my dad said, "I'm sorry, Brooke, I can't pay for your college anymore." And so I quit college for a hot second for, I think it was like 9 months, 6 months. And I worked 2 jobs. I waitressed, basically full time, and I worked at a tanning salon. 60 hours a week. I would like go to my tanning salon job and then go waitress, from 4 p.m. to 1 a.m. So I was working a lot of hours, and I was paying my way through college. I started college back up again, and I literally paid a check, $3,200 every semester to pay off my college. I was paying for it. What do you think happened? I started to get straight A's. I got straight A's. I started speech therapy in my undergrad, and I ended up going on to get my master's, did really well with that, and was getting mostly A's, but some B's, but no C's, no D's like I used to. Notice how when we have to pay for something, we value what we pay for. That's why I say, like, people need to put skin in the game in order to be in my challenge group, because if I'm running free groups all the time, or even people who are just using Beachbody on demand and no Shakeology, like, they're not putting skin in the game. They're not going all in. People only value what they pay for. And think of like my coach's scenario and my scenario. They're very similar. Because I had that plan B, that safety net ripped out from under me, I had no other choice but to figure it out. Let me give you another scenario. You guys have probably heard this before, but when I started coaching again in December of 2014, Mike was unemployed. I'll never forget getting that phone call in the parking lot when I stepped out on a break as a speech therapist. Like, I was at work and I stepped out and he said, "Brooke, I just got laid off." I was 3 months into coaching. Yeah, you guys, talk about fire under your ass, because at that point we had a mortgage to pay. There was no light at the end of the tunnel as far as Mike's situation. And I had my speech therapy income, which was unreliable because I got paid hourly. And so if the work was there, I got paid. If the work wasn't there, I didn't get paid. So it was very scary because I had no control over my hours. Like, either patients had strokes and they needed therapy, or there just weren't a lot of people coming in that week needing therapy. Holy shit, scary. So that was a huge fire under my ass to blow this business up. Not because I wanted to, I had to. And you guys, I'm telling you, the people who need this to work are the ones who make it work and who have success because they have the urgency. If you need to get your ass lit on fire after this call, after this live video, go and watch the Josh Coates training that he gave our team. It's in the Bod Squad recordings, in the learning section and the unit section and the files. Hey, Katie. But seriously, if you don't have urgency, you are not going anywhere in this business. If you constantly have a plan B, you are not going anywhere in this business. So I told my coach, you need to cut up your credit cards and you need to cut yourself off from your family's plan, their cell phone plan, everything. And it's time for you to adult up, to level up your life. You have a child. It's irresponsible to live this way. And I said this with love, but I said it is irresponsible for you to be lazy. That's not okay. You're an adult now. You're a mom. You have to go all in with this, because what if your significant other loses everything, which he very well could if a recession happened because of the type of job he's in. So I said, do not wait until that happens, because then you're really screwed. And guess what? Then you're going to be the type of person to go out and get a serving job and 2 jobs because you'd rather do what's comfortable and secure than go all in with this business and blow it up. And she goes, well, shit, Brooke, you called me on that one because I just did go get a serving job. And I'm like, see, that's what people do. They go and do what's comfortable because they are afraid of this business for whatever reason. But really, look at all the success stories. If Kate Schultz, who was burned out at her LA teaching job and sick of commuting 2 hours per day and was putting her health on the back burner, could match her teaching income in 4 months with this opportunity and retire from her teaching job in 6 months after starting coaching, you tell me, can you sense the urgency that was under her ass? I mean, me just telling you her story, you'd have urgency too, right? She wanted to get out of that situation, so you bet your booty she did, right? Heather Shipley, she went from brand new baby coach with 0 coaches 1 year ago today. 10 months later, she's a 5-star diamond elite coach. Urgency. There is nothing special about these people, you guys. But what is special is that they have urgency. They create it if they don't have it. If you don't have it, create it for yourself. Pretend like you just lost everything. Pretend like you are living on the streets or like you're going to be homeless tomorrow if you do not figure your shit out with this business, right? And what if I said that in 1 week, Carl Deichler would give you keys to a Ferrari and $100,000? He's not going to. But what if I said that? What if I said that if you go diamond in 1 week, 1 week from today, he will gift you a Ferrari and $100,000? You would make that happen, right? There's urgency there. Notice how it all comes back to urgency. Chop, chop, pork chop. What are we doing? Are you in or are you out? Shit or get off the pot. Going all in does not mean that every day is perfect. Hell no, you guys. I wish there was like a camera on me at all times so you'd be like, okay, she is a normal everyday person just like I am, struggling through the days. But I light that bitch on fire, aka urgency. Urgency. I make urgency my bitch. Can I get an amen? Is anyone feeling me? I see some hearts and stuff, but like, do you feel me? Cheers to fruit punch. I love adding the lemon in here. Hey, Chelsea. So, what's your urgency? Why do you need this? No, I'm not saying want. No, screw want. Why do you need this? What's going to happen if you don't make this happen? I don't want to know where I would be if I didn't make this business happen. So I hope that my story can inspire you. I was just super excited when I really broke through the brick wall with my coach last night, because I refuse to believe that people are lazy. I refuse to believe anything that people tell me that comes from up here, because there's always something deeper. And yeah, she was an only child. She has been handed things over to her on a silver platter and still does. Has that defined her success? Absolutely. It's made her fail, sadly. And that's why I will never do that to my kids. I will always educate them, and I will make sure that they work for everything, because it's doing us and them a disservice when we are handed things over. I never want my kids to feel comfortable. I want them to be paranoid. I want them to work hard for what they want and know that it takes a hell of a lot of work to get there. So, what's your urgency? Oh my God, such a great message. I'm retiring in a year from 20 years of a stability. You can do this, Jetta. I make urgency my bitch. Love that, adding that to my affirmation list. I love it, Monique. I'm gonna tell other girls to do that too. But you guys, you see how like her past and future and current present has defined her. But you know what? It doesn't have to anymore. She can take control. And I can think of other coaches on our team who have had her story, who rewrote the ending of their story. They took control of their situation, and they're like, no, this is not going to be how the story ends. And so they rewrote their story. So you need to rewrite your story. Let go of the story you have told yourself your entire life, because it's bullshit and it's a lie. And until you let go of it, it is not going to serve you. And so I'm always going to be that person that empowers you to level up, take action, and like unleash your inner badass. Like, that is my jam. That is what I love to do. That is my niche. That is my like passion and my strength. And when you do that for other women, you guys, that is when your business will change as well. This business is about developing people. I developed my coach last night. I mentored her. And that's why I say health and fitness, the challenge groups, are just an extra for me. My jam is helping women build a business, helping them overcome mental obstacles, helping them make money because of them overcoming the mental obstacles. Do you feel me? Like, you have to become a certain way up here before you can make the type of money that I make and the type of money that other top coaches make, right? But that's what I'm going to help you do, and that's what you get to help other women do. So when I say create urgency and invite to coaching, I mean it. You might not understand the depth yet, but you just need to trust me. If at first you don't succeed, do what your coach told you to do in the first place. If at first you don't succeed, do what Brooke told you to do in the first place. Just trust me. Just trust me and trust the process and trust yourself, but let go of that story that no longer serves you, because it is all lies, okay? All right, you guys, I'm done. I could go on and on about this, but love you so much. Happy Friday. Post below what is the poison, aka the lies and the story you have told yourself your entire life. Maybe things that have defined you or defined you up until this point, where today you're like, F that, no. Beachbody, plan A, even if it's not your only income, like, it is your plan A. Pretend like it is, and it will turn into a crazy income for you over time. But you have to like switch your mindset. So, all right, love you guys. Have a good weekend.